Longtime NFL with the Patriots, the Jets, the Lions. Damien Woody. Damien, how you doing,
Wood.
buddy?
The Wood man.
I'm good, Damien. How you guys doing?
Doing great. Now, Damien, I have to ask you. Braylon talks about this epic barbecue back in 2010. Do you remember anything about that barbecue of 2010?
Man, I've had a lot of things happen since then, so maybe Braylon can fill me in and spark some memories about it.
2010, right before the season started. I think this would have been, what is Labor Day? Labor Day is one right before the season starts. And I had the barbecue. I was DJing. I was on the ones and twos. I had my uncle cook.
Yes,
and you
okay,
showed
yes.
up. And you showed up in the classic old school muscle vehicle. I was like, oh, damn, he's showing out today. He's showing out today. But he came through and supported.
Okay,
Got it.
All you had to do was mention that you were DJing, and it sparked me. Yes, I did show up with a classic vehicle, a '69 Chevelle
Blue
SS convertible, blue. Yeah, I called it Bluebell because it had blue with the white racing stripes on it. So. Nice. Oh, yeah, that's definitely
that thing was mean. That thing was mean.
Well, Damien, we certainly appreciate the time, my friend. First question I want to ask you. Look, you have a perspective that not too many people have in the business. You played for this Lions organization. Matthew Stafford, the quarterback here for 12 years. He hadn't been able to get anything done, and then all of a sudden, 1 year since leaving Detroit, wins the Super Bowl. How would you characterize his time in Detroit and then again winning the Super Bowl 1 year removed?
Well, listen, I mean, everyone knows the situation with the Lions. They're in a rebuild. It seems like they've been rebuilding for a long time, and hopefully my former teammate buddy Dan Campbell gets that thing turned around with the Lions organization. But Matthew Stafford being the good soldier that he is, spent 12 years in Detroit and really did a lot of fantastic things, not only for the organization, but, for the community as well. And I thought the Lions did right by him and facilitating a trade to the Los Angeles Rams. And obviously with the Rams organization, it's a different scenario than the Lions. This team was basically all in, pushed all their chips to the table, made trades to fortify their team, and ultimately led them to winning the Super Bowl this year. So, listen, my hat's off to Matthew Stafford. This guy, he's put up some big-time numbers throughout his career in Detroit, and for him to be able to have this type of run in the postseason that culminated in a Super Bowl title, that's big time for his resume.
That's one thing you got to appreciate about D-Wood. He will always call it down the line, down the middle, and I appreciate that. You brought up being respected by the organization, which Matt Stafford was. That's how he was able to get to L.A. as opposed to Carolina or a couple other these moves in those places. Sounds like Von Miller. Sounds like the same thing the Broncos did with Von Miller, moving him out there, play right next to Aaron Donald. Got to get to Aaron Donald in the Super Bowl. Is he not the most dominant defensive player that we've seen since Reggie White and LT?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I always said that, the more dominant you are close to the football, the more you impact the game. And we just haven't seen many guys like Aaron Donald. Maybe a guy like Warren Sapp, but Aaron Donald to me is just a force of nature, causing so much havoc up the middle of the defense. And, I agree with you, Braylon. You definitely made the case. He's the most dominant defensive player that I've seen since Lawrence Taylor and Reggie White. Those guys kind of transcended the game. And when we look back at Aaron Donald's career, when it's all said and done, I think it's going to be a kind of a similar sentiment about Aaron Donald and the impact he's had on the game of football.
Quick question. Was it a snub? Is Super Bowl MVP? Did he get snubbed? Or are you okay with Cooper Kupp getting MVP? Oh, thank God.
I mean, listen,
I'm glad it's
absolutely.
not just me.
Aaron Donald should have been the Super Bowl MVP. Aaron Donald was a one-man wrecking crew on the defense. You saw the Cincinnati Bengals were paying to Aaron Donald, and then once the Los Angeles Rams made adjustments to get him more freed up one-on-one, you saw the impact, especially in the second half of the football game. So there's no slight to Cooper Kupp, who had a fantastic season and had that one drive where he was spectacular. But I think overall, as far as the game is concerned, Aaron Donald should have been the MVP.
Talking to Damien Woody, Braylon's former teammate with the New York Jets, also a member of the Detroit Lions, New England Patriots, now of ESPN. Damien, I want to stick with the Rams for a second. So much talk now. There's so many rumors, Super Bowl week. Will Sean McVay go to the booth? Will Aaron Donald retire? So many questions regarding the LA Rams right now. Where do you see this team next year?
Listen, they're still going to be one of the most competitive teams in the National Football League, particularly in the NFC. Because when I look at the NFC, outside of the Cowboys, where are the other teams? Yeah, San Francisco 49ers, they're a talented team. Jimmy G is going to probably get traded, which is going to turn into the Trey Lance show. But Aaron Rodgers is a big question mark. Will he be back in Green Bay? Will he be traded to another team, particularly in the AFC? I think there's a lot of questions in the NFC conference, and the Los Angeles Rams is going to be one of the top teams in the mix.
Damien, I wanted to ask you about your teammate for a long time and the GOAT, Tom Brady, playing with him and winning those Super Bowls with him and Adam Vinatieri, I might add. Do you think he is done, or do you think he is coming back? Because they got odds on him to be MVP next year. He's 45-1 to win an MVP, and he's retired. What's your take?
Yeah, well, listen. First of all, I thought he should have won MVP this year.
Yes,
considering he's 44 and the numbers that he put up this year, if I had a vote, he would have been my MVP. But listen, I've wavered, on this topic, but I truly do believe Tom Brady is going to stay retired. I think when you look at 22 years in its totality, 22 years, and all the things that he's accomplished, going to the Super Bowl 10 times, winning it 7. It would just be hard for me to imagine for him making this announcement and then all of a sudden backtracking, considering the fact that, a big part of the decision was the fact that his family was involved. And I know his wife, Giselle, has been tugging on that cape for a couple of years now, trying to get him out of the game. And I think she finally won it over this time around. So I don't see him backtracking and coming back and playing football.
When I was watching that comeback against the Rams as they were imploding, it wasn't Matthew Stafford's fault, by the way, but they were imploding. And had they not gotten that pass to Cooper Kupp and gotten in field goal range, they would have lost in overtime. But when I saw Brady, he looked sad, even though they tied the game. And I said to myself, here's a guy that's probably going to be forced to retire. He don't want to retire. He does not want to retire. But I want to ask you a Jets question. I'm a Jets guy.
Yes.
What did the Jets? How did they not get to the Super Bowl those years that Braylon and you guys
Brian
were there?
Schottenheimer.
Come on, man. Talk to me.
Schottenheimer.
Talk to me, Damien.
You don't even have to say it. I say it for
you. Well, listen, man. I think, I tell Jet fans all the time, man, obviously I won 2 Super Bowls in New England, but those 2 AFC Championship game losses, they stick with you. They're devastating losses, and I feel like we should have been in the Super Bowl both times.
Yes.
And man, the first time, we had some, Sean Green got hurt. I tell a lot of people all the time, Thomas Jones, excuse me.
Great president.
Had a fantastic year that year. He rushed for over 1,400 yards, but we ran him into the ground. Literally, we ran him into the ground. He had so many carries, and then Sean Green picked up the slack, and then Sean Green gets hurt in that the AFC Championship game against the Colts, and we just couldn't do anything. We just didn't have enough offensively, and our defense was at the mercy of Peyton Manning, and then we couldn't overcome that. And then the following year, man, the play calling was a little suspect. I'm just putting that lightly.
You think?
Oh.
And then, and honestly, we ran out of time. We ran out of time because we were making a hell of a comeback. All the momentum was on our side. The Pittsburgh Steelers, they couldn't stop us, but we ran up against the clock, and that was the difference between the Jets going to the Super Bowl and the Pittsburgh Steelers moving on. So those 2 losses, man, they just stick with you.
Well, I got a quick one before Ryan has another question. That first AFC Championship when we played against Peyton Manning at Lucas Oil, I think it's the first playoffs they had at Lucas Oil. The thing that stuck out in my mind, we get the interception right before the half, and they play for the field goal. We play for the field goal. And then Jay Feely, Michigan guy, my boy, your boy, he missed the field goal. So we don't even get the 3 points. Peyton Manning, the sheriff, 33 seconds goes down there, hits a touchdown. So we go into the half only up 3 as opposed to being up 10 or being up 6. We were so dejected as a team. Not all of us, not you, not me, but there were some people I don't have to call out. We looked like we were losing and we were getting the ball back. Like, that's when I knew we were in trouble, is that halftime locker room feel. Go ahead, Ryan.
I was going to say, you wanted me to say Mark Sanchez or no?
Nah, it wasn't. To be honest, it wasn't even Mark though. It wasn't even Mark.
That's good. Hey, Damien, I wanted to ask you because I'm really into this Man in the Arena on ESPN Plus right now, and this Tom Brady episode 9. I'm watching last night. And there's a clip of you in there that you say, and I want to get this right. You mentioned that playing for the Patriots was like playing in a dark tunnel the whole year. Julian Edelman then follows it up saying how Bill Belichick was a really hard guy to play for. The better you were, the more popular you were, the more he'd slam you. So I bring those 2 points up to ask you, does that experience, is that Bill Belichick tree, that Bill Belichick coaching tree, is that the reason why so many of those guys don't work elsewhere? Like a Matt Patricia here in Detroit that we had to suffer for, that I feel set the franchise back 7 years.
10 years.
10 years.
200.
Listen, Bill. I've said to many people, Bill Belichick is a genius, a football savant. He's the smartest coach I've ever been around. And I think what happens a lot of times with his disciples, they try to be something that they're not. You're not Bill Belichick. You can only be yourself. Can you take aspects away from the Patriots and try to implement it? Absolutely. But so many times, guys come out of that tree and they just try to be Bill Belichick, and it flops. You just can't do it. And so, there's been a couple of guys that have come out of there. I think Brian Flores has done a terrific job of turnaround the Miami Dolphins, and Bill O'Brien had some success down with the Houston Texans as far as getting to the playoffs. But for the most part, those guys, to me, just try too much to be like Coach Belichick instead of being like themselves. Because Braylon would tell you this: you can't fool the players. You cannot fool the players. If you try to be something that you're not, that's the easiest way to lose a team. And I think just too many guys try to be something that they're not.
Do you think that Josh McDaniels, second time around now, has learned that?
You know what? Time will tell, but I do think that it's a learning lesson. I think he can take what he did in Denver and say, you know what? These are the things that I did wrong. These are things that I need to correct. And he's getting a great opportunity with the Las Vegas Raiders, because this is not out there in Vegas, it's not a rebuild. This is a team that was in the postseason, lost in the wild card round to the Cincinnati Bengals. They got a quarterback. So there's a lot for him to work with, out in Las Vegas. His biggest thing, just be himself. Be Josh McDaniels. Don't try to bring the whole Patriots way out to Las Vegas.
Hey, D, I know you got to go. We got 2 quick questions for you, man. We're going to let you get back to your Wednesday. Maz, go ahead.
Is Matthew Stafford a Hall of Famer?
No, he's not. I mean, listen, I think Matthew Stafford has Hall of Fame talent. There's been no question about his arm talent, his ability. But I think he has a whole career with the Los Angeles Rams to kind of build on everything. I think here's what we get caught up. Everyone points to the stats. Okay, the passing yards, all these different stats that's accumulated. We're also in an era of like fantasy football, where all these quarterbacks coming in to a pass-heavy league are accumulating these stats. So I just think that Matthew Stafford has some work to do, and I don't put him in the Hall of Fame right now. It's not the Hall of Good. It's not the Hall of Very Good. It's a Hall of Fame for a reason.
Excellent.
I appreciate it. I got stuck. The point was so good. I forgot my question. All right, here we go. Last one, big fella. Who are your top 3 favorite O-linemen to watch right now? Because I watched the show on ESPN. I love when you smash the hammers. I love when you say, some guys getting after it. Who are your top 3 O-linemen to watch right now in the NFL?
Right now, I would say the number 1 guy is Trent Williams, the left tackle from the 49ers. That dude is – I love watching him, man, because Big dude. That's an athlete that can move. That's nasty. Love it. Another guy is Quentin Nelson. From the inside of his game. Love how he goes about his business. And then the third guy, that's a good one, man. The third guy.
Penei Sewell.
It's the same time.
I would say, listen, I'm going to tell you what. That dude had a really good season, man. That dude had a really good season considering the fact that he got moved from one side to the other, and then he got settled in. I think Detroit got a real keeper. He's going to be an all-pro. Not in the short distance, short future, whatever. But I'm going to say my last lineman. There's the kid out of Tampa Bay, Tristan Wirfs.
Oh, Tristan
Yeah,
Wirfs.
real nice. Yep.
He is really good, and you saw in the playoff game when he was hurt, that made a big difference.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
And how the Rams got after Tom Brady in that game.
Hey,
Matt
Damon.
Stafford should apologize. He should thank Tristan Wirfs for getting injured, because if he don't get injured, I don't know if Stafford has a ring right now.
Damien Woody, we certainly appreciate your time. Can't thank you enough,
Thanks,
man. Really great to chat with you here in Detroit.
Definitely, man.
Guys, I appreciate you having me on. Braylon, you man, miss you, my dude. Miss you.
Man, I swear to
You
God.
always been
My
guy.
Chatham brother.
And yeah, absolutely, man. And love to be back on you guys sometime soon.
Amen to
appreciate
that.
that.
Hey,
Woodward,
bring
thanks a lot,
Bluebell
brother.
here when we have the Woodward Dream Cruise.
You know what? I would definitely do that. But
All
when
right.
the weather's nice, I only can bring it up as nice.
Oh, yeah. It's an
It's 50
August.
degrees today.
Damien Woody, 12-year NFL vet, now of ESPN. Follow him on Twitter at Damien
please.
Woody. Thanks so much, my friend.
Appreciate
we'll talk
you,
to you
brother.
soon.
I appreciate you guys. Thanks for having me on.
Awesome conversation with Damien Woody right there. And again, just some great stuff. Answered your question bluntly. I do want to stick with that
That's
if
the
we
best
could.
answer I've heard. That's the best way I've ever heard it put.
Because Kelly Stafford responded to this Hall
She
of
did.
Fame talk.
And she was good.
We love Kelly.
She was terrific.
Absolutely. We'll tell you about that next. Ermanni and Edwards.
Woodward Sports Network, bottom line. You've reached the end of the video. You know what you should do? Press like. You know you like the content that we have here at Woodward Sports Network. I'm Braylon Edwards from the bottom line. Subscribe to us right now.